right? And this, you can look on CPR system lose all weight. I try to help that family. Him not drink.
No, listen to me. Me tell him to let it go. Collect the money and let it go. Him not listen.
Him drink every day, him smoke every day. Sometimes him up on live, you can say him is not himself. Because him a try to help his family. Danny just mad because there are 7,000 US gone. When I read between the line.
Okay, wait a minute. Danny not mad, and Danny have a husband, so Danny doesn't carry cocky feelings. Danny has a husband right here, so Danny don't carry cocky feelings for nobody but my own. Second, let's go on and talk about everything, right? I supported CPR to the fullest because he said he was supporting Niah and Niah. If it wasn't for that, I would have never, ever gifted anybody that kind of money. Never in my life.
But people then here, we can testify for say, them bury a family member before, and nobody is releasing nobody.
I understand that. I said the same thing, so somebody had to locate it yesterday.
Like a madness.
Yeah, when the lady said she gonna stand in for the balance, so that's why they released the body. Miss Blinger, couple months ago, Niah father said,
the place is called Heavenly Dove, and they were in the last live I was just in. The funeral home was in there. And they can't come up. If they come up into a live and talk about it, that's breaching confidentiality, and it's against the law. But they were trying to. So if they do that kind of stuff, they should be able to say, but they were in the comments, and everybody kept saying the same thing. They're not going to release the body if the money's not paid. And in the comments, they wrote exactly. So somebody had to have paid the money yesterday. I don't know who.
But Danny,
I don't know none of that. All I know is that I'm a gifter, and what my money was spent on didn't go for what it should have been spent on.
Yeah, but Danny, listen to me now. You know, we have a next problem now. Did you know?
Miss Blinger.
Listen to what I'm telling you. Danny, you know, so we have a next problem. Meg just came here a while ago, and Meg put up her business as collateral. And that word, Sandra.
Yeah, right word.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing is Niah's mom just went live and said that there's no more money owed to the funeral home. She didn't say nothing else. I don't know anything else. I can only go off
of Meg put up her business, so she believed that Meg stand in.
Yes, because right now the funeral home is looking for Meg payment tomorrow.
Yes.
Niah's mom paid in full. That the funeral home doesn't have any more money.
Miss Blinger, can I say something now?
Give me 1 minute. Let me make you say something. I just want to say this to Danny and then let go the mic. So Danny, listen.
Yeah.
Nobody, I'm the host. I'm not saying you're lying because everybody is innocent until proven guilty, right?
But anybody can call me a liar because that's okay because I know the money that I paid. I know the enemies that I've made by defending him and everything about this, saying he's doing the right thing, and then we show up to the funeral and it's not paid.
But I never call you a liar. I'm here
disappointing, and CPR should not be doing this. And I can tell you, I'm one of his biggest supporters every single day until today.
All right, I never call you a liar. I'm speaking to you. Listen to what I'm saying. I don't know if you heard.
You just shut up.
Meg was just here. You said you was at the funeral and the parlor said what the parlor said, and then Meg gave up her business as collateral. So tomorrow Meg will have to pay the remaining balance. Then you said, then Meg said that she's not paying any money to the funeral home tomorrow.
But that isn't what she said in the other live a few minutes ago. She said she told them that she owns businesses and she would pay it on Monday. This is the first time she said, I'm not paying it, was in your live.
Yeah. People in the comment
she didn't say that in the other live.
People in the comments saying funeral home won't release body. I own
a band that plays at Niah. I'm living in Jamaica. And my friend own a funeral home. Can I say, just listen up? I own a band, right? My friend own a funeral home. And before, you have to pay in full. If you are going to have a funeral on Saturday, the body is ready from Thursday and put in the casket.
Tell you know why
the body is put in the casket.
Tell you know why I'm not going to go with that? We're talking about celebrity right here, so.
Right.
So go with where you want to right there, so. Because
Miss Blinga, they have to pay. It don't matter. It don't matter.
No,
they're not going to release money.
We're not going to run with what you want to say.
They're not
All of them do it. Some funeral home
We're
release
not going to run
money.
with what you want to say, because me I tell you, say, when me talk to anybody along, if me say, listen, me I go do this tomorrow, them believe me I go do it tomorrow and make the thing go on through. So me not go work with what you want to say right there. So even though you have a pint, but me not go work with that, because what
I know a funeral home that do that. I know a funeral home.
We're talking about the funeral home. We see the white people them there. We see Niah. We see how much 100, 1 million, 1,000 make, and most of them on the tour. So
And it's a small funeral home too. You know, as country funeral home, they don't normally get, you know, such support.
Come being preps.
Alright. What me that try to say Miss Blinga, but when I put it on a different level now, me don't know have no funeral home. I go make them owe them so much money.
Miss Blinga.
Again, me see Niah, mother and CPR on a screen recorded when them say them a go pay for the funeral arrangement there. So me not understand how comes now this lady now attacks money over.
Yesterday at the funeral, L.A. Lewis confirmed that CPR and the mother pay everything, and the mother both the CPR 100%. Miss Blinga called L.A. Lewis. He said it on the live yesterday.
Also.
All of this thing is just rubbish. These people need to shut the hell up. Like,
no, probably Danny, see them trying to carry CPR and I try to do a thing too. But
listen,
Danny, you're not going to win.
Let me say something. Couple months ago, Niah's father claimed that the mother wanted to scam him because the money paid, and she was telling him that the money didn't paid. So ask the father. There is a lie.
Tag the father, tag the mother, tag everybody.
There was a lie, but the family was saying that she's trying to scam the father, that the money wasn't paid when the money was paid. So maybe the money wasn't paid.
Look here, tag the father, tag the mother.
This thing I can't be storage fee, you know.
And the
As a
mother
month,
and
now, them a keep Niah, you know. It can't be storage fee, you know. It's a daytime storage fee keep by, you know. Fee, you know. I don't know how much for them.
Maybe he paid for the package, but he didn't pay for the digging and
how much months? Alright, see there, somebody said 5,000 a day. And 5,000 a day at 30 and 31 day in a month. How much month now that
the money add up? It goes up every single day until the
it go up every day.
Who is
CPR moderator? CPR moderator claims that
Hold on, who just said that?
me. CPR there's a live screen recording live this morning. CPR moderator. Somebody said CPR moderator to pay 700,000 yesterday.
Then I want you something.
Believe that because there's no.
So listen, you why the people them do them something? Yeah. What do you think about? What do you think this push
Only way, Miss Blinga, if CPR come forward with them, receive them and come clear this, so the only way we can believe.
CPR, the mother, one of them have to come clear it up in the family.
But
We can't do much.
somebody a cover for somebody.
L.A. Lewis, them say covering for CPR. So them say
why would L.A. Lewis cover for CPR?
I don't know this man that
He confirmed it yesterday, said CPR and the mother pay everything, and he can confirm it 100%. That's what he said.
When was it paid? When was it paid?
He never said when, but he said everything paid for a long time.
He just want to ask one question because Beauty, Miss Blinga, keep a lament.
This shit and long it all. Make the man rest in peace, man.
Miss Blinga, me hear you emphasize, right?
Them gone down now, man. Lord God, man.
you emphasize and I say, oh, a celebrity and white people come, whatever. But when me I try to say, right, okay, some kind of deal it makes it money I go pay up Monday. But did anybody sign anything? No random person just can't come tell me say, oh, they are pay money, they go put up this and pay money. Paper have to sign blinger. People have to email over things in the country. Email have to send and thing and owner have to sign.
Yeah, why should I come with a receipt? Come with a receipt.
Oh yes, I'm gonna pay money. What the fuck is she? They don't know her for now.
And you could go use mouth talk.
They don't know her for now. They go take what she say credible. Who is she? She not
the mother contact.
She not have to
contact the mother.
Right. You know why me say that? You are some set of people nowadays them work with anything. You know what I say?
No, beauty, trust me. No, a business them around. Business them around.
She didn't have
you
to
can't just take a random person,
agreement.
Miss Blinger. You can't just, yeah, we are random. Remember, and I like how the mother say, no, all right, me I go make sure so me come with them can find the mother and cap police pan him or whatever, verbal agreement or whatever, no work like that, because everybody go carry people go a court. Beauty, you're not idiot.
The question is,
already have the mother contact. So
random person,
the mother.
you should have asked her what collateral she put up.
Exactly. And you have to sign
She show some.
She say her business. She said she show them her business.
What business?
That don't make no sense, girl.
I do nothing.
After we know
No, but they already have the mother, so they already have the mother.
But the mother never make no agreement. The mother never, you never hear the mother say, okay, no.
Then come here now. Look
That's
here
a
now.
verbal agreement.
See another ring here again now.
I can't
Pay the 100,000 them.
Do which business?
Come. Here another thing now.
Well, you sound like you don't go to school. Remember me telling you, because anybody
Yes,
can
you
No, you have to look from the point of view with some people we can't think, you know. From the people when you know if you talk their way out. You have to look from the people when you know if you talk their way
Sign a
out.
paper.
No,
And furthermore, she live a foreign.
Exactly.
She can't come talk about she a go pay and the body release her. And who she is. It's who she
You
is.
not release nobody. And
It
you
cannot release her.
Me say what me say because me know say Jamaica is not a real
No,
place.
and listen to the next thing. Niah done dress and everything. Niah done dress and everything and ready to go a funeral. Why them a go? And at the end of the day, if you are go dress a body, the payment has to be finalized before the funeral day. Not when time then come here, you getting ready in a 2-3 minutes. Remember, no like a party, you go put on drawing something and go, you have to dress the man good. You can't just say, okay,
Them have to
20
carry the
minutes
clothes
before
the day
funeral.
before or 2 days before.
Exactly.
Meg is
And at the
covered.
same
I think the father will go and clear it up. If he say father will go clear up the money when he hear all of this, he might go clear it up.
Then look here now. Then you want to tell me some money who I'm see a limousine and all kind of
You mad girl, and look like that. That's what Niah turn up straight.
Them need to leave Niah alone and them need to leave CPR alone because
Look what
CPR
that.
makes
Look how
it
much
possible.
me almost think so Niah blood clot like Niah turn up stiff and straight and look for everybody. I think I don't look up
The funeral home did good. The funeral home did good. They do their thing.
No. Listen, them have to pay off their full money because based on how the funeral set up and the whole setting, it was not cheap. You can come and say a $1.8 million and more than almost half of the money. And now you dress like a dress post.
For real.
Me don't know if you put no money beauty. Me nah say oh a lie, make a tell her a lie, then you tell her whatever. I'm just saying pick sense out of nonsense. You get what me I say beauty?
Not
man
no
who said
nonsense
July funeral,
guess
go
what?
pick out
Me
the
know
package.
me know say something now add up.
Something now add up for true.
Me know that.
Them just try to bring down CPR.
want
We just
Meg.
know that because
Meg come here so come tell me one sit like a while. Where? No right.
you feel like you man are gonna turn the brand and the reputation like that.
Springer,
Yeah.
the mother come from when him the live this morning, and me hear them ask her, say, them hear say money 70 much thousand or 700,000 and she said nothing like that. She don't owe no palo, cause she owe palo, all limousine come in place.
That is what I'm saying.
This
is what I'm trying to tell this
Niah body in the castic from Thursday, no Miss Blinger. Niah body is in the castic from Thursday. If you didn't know.
Some of we Jamaican people have been down here too much.
The body in the castic from Thursday. So if they never pay the money, they would
have a word. Guys, can I have a word in, please? Because it doesn't make any sense when everyone is talking. So, like I said, I don't know. We don't know the truth. Nobody on this live know the truth. But my thing is, I do not like the way how people bottom-minded, narrow thinking, thinking all the time that every time that a woman gifts, they want to person they're gifting. I don't like that. That's very disrespectful. We have to put ourselves, this is not a Jamaican versus US or wherever people are from. This is human consideration. If you had given generous amounts of money to contributing towards a certain cause, right? And when you are at the funeral, you understand that now the body is not going to be released because there's some outstanding monies. You would have been concerned. Anybody would have been concerned. You know what I'm saying? And she's just sharing the regular concerns and putting forward the allegation. What I think CPR needs to do is to come out with his bills and receipts, because he has been missing from the grave digging. He has been missing from the setup. We haven't seen him at the funeral, which is also.
They are saying that he said he's scared for his life, but what CPR is not understanding is people are out here canceling people, and we see that CPR have done a lot of good, and now they're putting this on his name. He needs to just come and clear this, and these people, if them not say nothing, don't go, so them to stop walk and spread the propaganda upon the media. And I say, I saw this go when I know saw it go. That's all I'm saying.
But Miss Blaine, but why would he be? He's scared for his life. The baby mother was threatened too. She was there with security at the funeral. She was also on the live this morning.
What am I get threatened for?
She did not. I don't know. That's what their story is. But she did not refute the claims made by Danny and Meg this morning. She did not refute the claims.
Yeah, she get money if you say everything.
In fact, those are speculations, guys.
You know,
she wants regular
wild. They're getting very wild and excited.
Everybody pull it up the screen. Get the likes to 1 million likes and support the live.
To open a bank account for her daughter, but up until the promises from January were made for her to get the money, she has not received the money.
She's waiting to receive the money.
From CPR, I'm telling you what she said.
Right, but Niah have a conversation now. I mean, for cut you, just that over your savage and you have to get your word in. When you hear me talk to, you can't go in. Look here.
Yeah, man.
Them now, mouth, teeth, and tongue. I don't know nothing right now. I just want to hear something. I go say mouth, teeth, and tongue. Mouth, teeth, and tongue say, oh, thanks for the gift, guy. Everybody come. We need 30 way. Let's go. Mouth, teeth, and tongue say, them no want to get the money because she squander the money all the time, right? Because she smoke, she drink, she this and she that. So maybe that's why them no want to give her no money.
But who brought about that narrative, Miss Bling? It's so easy for people to demonize women all the time on this app. We've seen it first time. You yourself is a victim of being demonized, Miss Bling. You know, so often people come up with theories and they demonize her because there was a point where they were running with a narrative that he's a child's godfather and as such, he should be the one raising the child. I've seen that type of reaction in the comments box. So all of that is speculations because, I mean, either she's smoking or whatever. Anybody would smoke. You just lost your child's father. No, you're a single parent charged with the full responsibility. Persons are going to get excited because of the season. What happened to 5 years from now when that child is to take PEP? Are we going to be deeply invested or are we going to move on the way we've moved on from Expert and Rose? You know what I'm saying? Just for example's sake. You know, people all the time are so quick to demonize women and come up with all kind of speculations. The only thing I can say, I can't really say CPR is guilty or he's not until somebody can come forward with bills and receipts. If he made a payment, he should have the receipt.
Good evening. Miss Blinger, let me tell you something. You see that girl?
And big up yourself.
Everything they said on that girl name is a lie. You see that girl? Listen, that girl is doing very well for her daughter. And I'm not asking you, I'm telling you with proof. Number one, CPR gave that girl $500,000. And that is not only what she said, that is what CPR said also. Okay?
Because I don't listen to one-sided story. Out of the $500,000 that CPR gave her, she used some of that money and also keep a party for Niah. Niah, you know, when you're keeping party and you buy this and that, you know how it goes. $500,000 is no money in Jamaica. Okay?
Why she use the money keep party now?
That was part of it. So they had kept, a get together. This is when it just happened. And I'm just trying to show you how the money was spent. So some of the money came out of that. So it's not like they gave her $500,000. She sit down with it. She used the money for things. You understand what I'm saying? The money was spent on other things than just the child and herself. Okay, when the child's school fee was to be paid, people was asking, where is the money that Nicki Minaj gave you? By that time, that girl is building on a room for her and her daughter. She's being productive. She's building somewhere, and she has proof of that she's building. She's spending her money to make sure her daughter is secure. Because one thing about when a person passed away, everybody are going to come in and say, me I go help, me I go help, me I go do this and me I go do that, and nobody does it. So there is people around her who is guiding her the right way and making sure say she don't feel. The narrative that they had pushed from the jump was that the girl are idiot, because me I tell you, even me the think something wrong with the girl. Me the think, you know how Jamaica run. You know when people young, you go say, oh, these people young, them, you know, them don't know what they might do, so nobody give them no money. That was a narrative that was pushed. Now the little girl come out and say, all right then, CPR collect all this money in the name of Niah. Because we're not going to act like, say, we don't know how charity run. If you bring her come over here and say, I'm going to run a charity because something happened to Millie and I run a charity for Millie. Everybody who gave the money expect that money to go to Millie. Am I correct? So when everybody sit down and say the money is going to Niah's child, and when the money did not go months after people asked him, the girl said, okay, here what? We don't want no problems. There is a guy who is selling a Pro Box and he's giving it to me for a special deal. $900,000. Give me the $900,000 so I can purchase that. I can use the car to carry the picnic go to school. I can use the car to run taxi. So it's basically I'm starting a business. They took that and they went left with that. Oh, she only want money if you do this. That. All right, cool. The girl say, okay, forget about that. Because I even encourage her. Don't ask nobody for no more money. Stop it. Whenever you need money for the child to go to school, I will try to find the necessary platform who can help. And I did so. I asked Scrub, I said, can you collect money for this child so she can go to school? And that's what she did. The baby mother is not what people making her out to be. And a big grown woman, well, and a second grown people who must stop it, because this is a young girl who is trying to remember, say, and Niah used to take care of the child. So the fact that Niah is not here and she's, you know, asking CPR for some of the money, oh my God, he collect over 9 million Jamaican dollar. So if the funeral is 1.5 million and the picnic and him give the girl 500,000, that's only 2 million. So that is the reason why people are talking about this money. No, me don't know nothing about the funeral.
Hold on, Millie, just a question to interject, because this is what I heard the baby mother said on a live earlier today. She said that she haven't received no money. Them tell her to get the document to open the account, and she not received not even 1 cent. So
no, hear what she said. The money she's talking about that she hasn't received. Later. When they said, did she receive the money? That was from January. Listen, that money was the money that was supposed to go to the account. Because remember, when he gave her that, listen, he never give her 500,000 at once, you know.
Hurry up and done.
Right, he give her a little bit. Not me just answer what she say. Him give her little bit of things. But she was talking about the money to go in the account. Because remember, she was supposed to give her 200,000 he was supposed to give her $2 million, but the rest didn't go in the account. That's what she was saying.
All right, let me say this quickly. This morning I was on a live with one Kevin and the dad, right? So man from the funeral home that works at a funeral home, he came on and he was saying no funeral home is going to reduce the money being paid. And the father's response was, I believe that, and I believe that the money is paid. So if the father is saying that and one person is saying that, I honestly feel like all this is just because, you know, a bag of extra mix-up and to bring down CPR because everybody knows that he was coming from the front and so forth. Because if the mother stated this morning, the mother stated that the money was paid. The father also is saying that the money was paid. So this is just, I feel like this is just to cause problem, honestly.
Okay, thank you. Again.
Can we weigh this possibility for a minute? Because I realize that some persons are saying the family said there's no money owed or paid. Can we perhaps weigh the possibility that the account that the family is providing is, since there has been some resolution brought to it, you know what I'm saying? So since yesterday, whatever arrangement they work to, there's no outstanding money owed now. But I don't believe that
there's no outstanding money owed now, but it is alleged that what's your name? Meg. Meg check the funeral home and tell the funeral home to let's say money was owed.
No, I think what Meg said, she didn't even confirm if it was a funeral home. She said she got a number and she assumed that it's a funeral home. And when she contacted them, she put forward her collaterals as, you know, as an upfront negotiation for them to proceed with the funeral, and she's supposed to clear that payment today. But what they're saying though, as a result, following that, is that it was resolved and it is paid. So as a result, she doesn't have any further dealings with the funeral home. The only thing we have to resolve now is whether or not CPR's name needs to be cleared, and the only way for him to clear it is for him to just come forward with his receipts so you know his name can be cleared, because it would be unfortunate that all of this is just some allegations and it's defaming his character. And if it's the other way around, it's still also bad.
From the death of Niah, you see, there has been, I don't think people are looking at the full picture. And I think there's some unfairness going on. Right?
Just 13 pounds, please.
When you look at it, son, I'm going to say this publicly. This man has a mother and a father. He died, right? And how Jamaica work is that once he dies, he goes into the mother and the father's care, right? No, CPR collected the money. All of this is going back to the money that CPR collected. From CPR collected that money. If I were CPR, I'm sorry to say, I would not collect that money. Anytime you have somebody dying, whether it's death,
me try to tell him.
Me tell him, Miss Blinger, if I knew him, I would have told him not to collect the money.
Try to tell him no listen. Me tell him, say this about now go look good. Me tell him.
She should have collected the money, but she should have exercised the business wisdom to make sure that however he's dispersing the funds, there's some kind of account for it so people don't mix up his name. I've helped people on my platform before, and when people say to me, can you collect? I said, you won't get me be the middleman. My platform is to air the story, get the help. You you contact the person directly. God, I'm not gonna mix me.
But tell him, say, hey, do what I do and let it go. Listen. I didn't know this never. Didn't know that this never happened. Danny, I'm not here yet to say anything.
Connection.
Guys, what are you saying? When you come out of my box, if you don't talk, when you not just come up here and just sit down. When I have to
And enjoy and everything, we can tell you this. Don't be quick to jump to believe what you hear, whether mother, father, sister, brother said. There is a disconnect in all of this. Because if somebody dies and you're telling me that you want to put them down, why is there a big fracas from the beginning, from the man dead till now? There is this big disturbance. People talk about CPR. Yes, he collected the money. That's just the money, right? People are not looking at the bigger issue. Right, the whole thing. Where was this? There is this cloud over the thing from the beginning. Let me, and I don't think people are being fair. One, if I was CPR friend, cousin, whatever, would I tell him don't collect no dead left money? Two things got problem in a money: asset and money when somebody dies. The two things will cause problem. Would I tell him not collect it? Fine, you collect the money. You have to be transparent. I'm gonna be fair to him. He should be transparent.
We tell him
the money went collect. Because everything that is going on, even if he use the money, come out and say you one thing. Come out and say you use whatever. So you collect 10,000 US, brother. Me collect 10,000. Me get this, me get that. Talk things. But everything went wrong with CPR and the family the minute he decided not to give them the money. Because what they wanted him to do was to collect the money and give it to them, which is what caused the rift as it relates to the money. Now, once he decided not to give it to them, he should have told himself this: I'm going to disclose everything that the money is used for, because they are going to come for him. Whether they are going to lie, whether they are going to fabricate, whatever. Yes.
This not done. It don't ever start.
No. So let me tell you what happened. I'm never telling you without being without pick side, because the mother is.
You remember one time when I said CPR, collect the money and just give to the people them. Tell the people them how much you collect. You never remember?
He should. All right. So he went wrong there, but look at this now. Me noticed that the mother was more concerned about the burial, and other people concerned about the asset. I mean, I call her name. But if you don't really look into the story now, all of this go back to when I have. No, remember, in CPR, me not judge somebody, I don't know him. Me not tell him everything, you know, when the guy did. Because me feel, at first me feel somebody dead, I mean, I know them. See? And if you tell the truth, this is very messy. Whosoever, there is some negativity in this. Somebody have pushed this fire. We don't need to push. People going to talk about the mother come to the funeral and CPR. Remember, they threatened him. Remember, CPR and the family fall out. Please to note that, because he not give them the money, or they feel saying them the money, or whatever. And people know how people go over money. Me, personally, whether I'm there or not, I would not go. Because they're obviously against him, because he not give them the money. Right? So this goes back. All of this is not about the funeral, Niah, or anything. It's about the money that he collected for Niah. That is what this is all about. And people need to stop with, a funeral. No funeral home in Jamaica, I don't care who you are, is going to release that fantangulous, them develop a word, funeral with money being owed. None, no matter who you be. So the money was paid, and whosoever paid, and that no need to come out to. The man dead. Why don't you know all of that? The only thing where people are different, and from morning, so then if you start playing hypocrite and start beat behind the bush about who money this and that, the only thing people really want to know in Jamaica, which is how Jamaica people stay, is where the money where they will contribute to Niah death and in data. That is what people want to know. And they will fabricate and develop all sort of story and Nancy, because that don't make no sense. Look at the man funeral. No funeral home is going to give it that, and you owe them 700,000, 900,000. Weird.
But wait a minute, can I say something? And the collecting of the money before we go any further. Alright, wait. So, yeah, can I say something? Hold on. What if the money is being paid, but they try to collect extra money by saying it's not being paid? Do you understand what I'm saying? What if the money was, all the balance was already paid, and they're trying to say, okay, I don't know, I'm just saying, what if CPR and we call it the funeral home?
HOD, let me answer you, you're so perfect. There's a thing in Jamaica where they go to the parlor. Where if you have an insurance money, they send money. People send money over money family collect. That is also a possibility. Jamaican people have it up, because remember Jamaican people is crafty like that. As sudden do when people dead. It is a fact.
What if that money was paid, but they're trying to scam and get 900 to say that it was not paid? So when they say,
the money, all of the money was not paid. That's what Danny said. Little while, or Meg said. Oh, which one said, people?
I think it was Meg that said it.
Meg or Danny, one of them said. Meg said.
Was it Danny?
Danny said when she was there at the funeral home, the people them say them not letting go the body because the
money was owed.
Yes, right.
Danny said that, right? This son no allege nothing yaso. So me said to the person who said, so look here. If the money there one day something they wanna do. She said, like them never aware of all of that and this and the third, but Meg now go say, she tell them say, tomorrow, Monday, they will be receiving the rest of funds. Why would, bring on the family member alone can go to, why would Danny tell that lady?
But maybe they tried to scam them. Maybe, as I've said again, maybe the full money was being paid. But maybe they tried to scam them to say, oh, you know what? Oh, they just tell them that we need balance of 900 grand. You know what I mean? But maybe it was really being paid.
Hold on again.
They never got the money.
Hold on again. Meg said, and another problem may cause.
Yeah.
Meg said the funeral home, the rest of money. Meg said no.
No, exactly.
If me think she looks stupid, so
stupid, exactly, because what? The funeral home didn't call her.
No, the funeral home. She said she's not going to pay it unless she gets proper confirmation that it is in fact the funeral home, because she said one number them give her for call, so she's not 100% sure.
Exactly.
She's making assumptions. She's 100% sure if it is Niah's mother, because she said the person identified themselves as Shernette. She did not say it was Shernette. You get what I mean?
That is not the case. This is not the legitimate case.
I think, you know what? I just think the whole thing is a scam right there. And you know Jamaican people crafty. Come on, guys. You know Jamaican people crafty like that. I think it's a scam. They're trying to get 9K. And that's it. Jamaican people is crafty as hell. You know what I mean? Because listen, if they never pay the rest of the balance of the money, why would they release the body? Does it make sense?
Meg gave them her word, my love.
Yes.
I have a question.
Right now, guys, when you go to funeral home, you can give them a word and them let go the body.
No, that never happen.
No, maybe it can happen. Wait.
Maybe learn today that when you own funeral home, child, you give them a word that they're gonna get paid Monday and they release the body.
No, but hold it. No, very well.
Nothing can hold in Jamaica. That's a whole lie.
No, but wait. Bear in mind.
No funeral home in Jamaica now.
No, hold on. Bear in mind.
No, you can say something. Hold on, I just want to say something. Good afternoon.
How much was the balance? How much was the balance?
900K.
There is no funeral home we are going to make no for them.
Thank you. Wait, bear in mind, what if the funeral home? Listen, bear in mind.
Some people are saying they will. The people in the chat were saying they will come up. Send a request and come to
Jamaica not allow nobody to go to church or if it's until no funeral not do it.
Yeah, one at a time.
All right, I God bless.
All right,
in 2009, I got blessed at all. In 2009, my mother died, and a $20,000 then called me and tell me, say, I owe $20,000 on the body. And like it was after 4 this Saturday, and my mother will go bury this Sunday. If I bring him at the if I bring him 20,000, we can't get the body. So I said $20,000, I can't wait till like in the week. And so they said no, the $20,000 I have to pay by 6 o'clock. And when I look back and go my paper them and go back for all of my receipt them and carry back and I add up all of everything, I go back and show them and say I don't owe them none.
Yeah,
so But they now let nobody none at all. I lie them.
But bear in mind, it's a high profile funeral. So maybe the funeral home.
And that's too much.
Yes,
that's a lie.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why it's a high profile funeral.
Let me ask a question.
Funeral, and they're watching it. Maybe the funeral home is
That's what I said.
they're listening and they're trusting. Yes, it can happen.
But it don't make no sense, because if the money not paid tomorrow,
But hold on, maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe the money was already paying full. It's a scam.
The baby is a scam.
900,000.
It's a scam.
900,000.
It could be Niah's mother. It could be CPR involved with the funeral home. You can't trust people in Jamaica. I'm sorry. Oh, you know that CPR pay for the funeral home. I tell you that. You got a receipt. If you can't prove receipt,
He did because Niah mother come out and clear the air because two girls in the life. After the same thing with them two girls that come from bring alive and say. But who am money and kind of bullshit and your woman have to go over the panel live and clear the air.
But listen, how many mother in Jamaica rob their daughters and their son? What are you trying to say? You can't just live in Jamaica.
Hey Joe, you know what I think happened? Somebody watch the live and see everything that's going on. And they just make up a story. They have them woman for call and say them are the mother and do whatever. Because this not make no sense.
It makes sense.
Because
Exactly.
when the lady said she